I'm Alex.
I'm Tony.
And we're here to talk about Nintendo's press conference, E3 2010.
That's right. I think it was way better than last year's.
It was way better than Microsoft's too, but that's for the last comment we're going to make in another video. First, it started with the bombshell, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
We've been wanting this for so long. It's motion plus controls. Except it wasn't like Twilight Princess at all. It was like a brand new painterly style.
Yeah, it looked like Impressionism or watercolor.
Yeah.
Some people found that a bit annoying because it could have gone to full cell shading and it could have gone to realism, and they just chose this painter
It was a nice center spot. The problem is that the demo was really poorly executed. A lot of interference, and it really made it awkward to watch. It should have ended it a lot quicker if it was all issues.
Yeah, it kind of damaged the presentation in general because of it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it looks like the game might be actually just as good as they say, because, you know, later on it became a problem for another demo.
I was disappointed it was delayed.
Yeah. It's 2011. Mario Sports Mix.
It's better than if they released like 5 different games.
You know what? I actually am glad that they decided to do that, to release the game with multiple sports in it. Dodgeball looked pretty good, and basketball is basketball. There's volleyball.
It looks like it's done by the same
hockey.
team who did 3-on-3.
That's Square Enix, by the way. Could be something completely different. We'll find out soon enough.
Wii Party. They actually didn't. I was very surprised they didn't talk a lot about it. This is the big casual game that they're supposed to be coming out in like a month in Japan. Just Dance 2. Now this is another casual game, and they really wanted to push the Just Dance series since it was one of the best third-party sales over the year.
I think it was actually the best third-party seller last year, which is a bit of a shame. But at the same time, if you can do good doing this to a person in the screen, it's all good to you. It looks exactly the same, so not a problem. Golden Sun Dark Dawn.
Yes, this is a highly anticipated RPG, the third in the Golden Sun series. It was announced last E3.
It was just a basic tech demo then, but now it's the full game.
Yes, now we can see battles and actually storyline execution, and now we can really see how it really fits in the series.
I'm surprised that it's not a direct sequel in the sense that it's the same people.
It looks like the same characters.
Maybe it's the children of those characters.
But they say it's like centuries later.
Yeah, no, it's a century, generation.
Alright.
But anyway, it looks good, except for the whole 3D model thing. But you know what? What are you going to do? Goldeneye 007.
This game was leaked before the conference, but Nintendo still presented it anyways.
Apparently, Activision and Nintendo and Rare with Microsoft had a bit of a dispute before.
Yeah.
They wanted to remake the original Goldeneye
for their download services
on Xbox Live Arcade. My guess is that now Activision is having this game completely remade on the Wii, and in turn, Rareware will finally get Goldeneye ported onto Xbox Live Arcade. That's at least my estimate.
And I think it's a good idea. I'm not too sure how it's going to play out. It looks like the graphics could be better, and
they could sharpen.
And I'm wondering how the gameplay has changed significantly. It'd be really cool if the original game is unlockable, but I highly doubt it.
Disney Epic Mickey.
I can't believe they put Disney in front of it.
I don't know. This is an adventure game starring Mickey.
And they want to make it a new game character.
Yeah, they wanted to allow you to choose between a good character and a bad character. You get to remove things with the pointer and add things, you paint thinner and paint.
During the demonstration, you can see some interference from what they were talking about earlier with the Zelda.
So that kind of showed the point that, you know, that's the reason what the problem was, major interference. Still, the game looked really good, and I can't wait to see it later.
I would like to see destruction and creation altogether.
Speaking of Epic, Kirby Epic Yarn.
Now this one was really, really cool. I like the art style.
The original Kirby game was brought out for the GameCube with 4-player multiplayer.
That obviously was scrapped.
And that got completely taken away.
At first I was a little worried about it when they announced the name, but then all of a sudden I started seeing it come to life. I thought it was going to be like a pointer game, and all of a sudden Kirby's using a whip, and it was yarn, and pulling the background and everything. This is really interactivity that you never see.
This is them trying to completely bring back Kirby. I think the only problem I have is that I don't think you can actually get power-ups in this game.
I'm a little concerned about that too.
Yeah.
Maybe he could swallow the yarn and grow things. I don't know.
It's so darn cute!
It looks epic.
Dragon Quest IX. Nintendo apparently is publishing Dragon Quest IX instead of, you know, Square Enix.
Which is kind of strange.
Yeah, seeing as the game sold almost 5 million copies in Japan.
Maybe Nintendo decided to get a one-up on them and do it.
Or Square Enix didn't want to actually advertise for it.
Either way.
They pushed it big, and they didn't have much gameplay, so moving on. Metroid Other M.
I can't wait for this game.
This game comes out at the end of August, and is made by Team Ninja.
I was a little disappointed when they delayed it. I really wanted it.
Well, either way, it looks really good. It's hard to tell when we see from this gameplay footage whether it'll be a really good experience or not. But
how could it not be a good experience? This is
Metroid.
Donkey Kong Country Returns.
This was Retro's game.
This was a surprise. I had no idea they were working on this.
We knew about it. I knew about it. Apparently a rumor had said from IGN a few days ago that Retro had been working on a Donkey Kong Country game.
And, well, here it is. 2D side-scrolling game with
two-player
co-op.
Same thing with Kirby.
And minecarts and stuff. And even had the letters.
And there's a lot of movement and activity going on. This is clearly a game made from Retro Studios.
And definitely has somewhat akin to the style that was in Jungle Beat, which was a good game, too.
If you're a platforming fan, this is going to be the E3 for you.
And then after that, that was all the games.
Yeah.
They didn't show Pikmin 3 or even those RPGs.
Yep, neither Lost Story nor Xenoblade.
And they even mentioned Sin and Punishment 2 comes out, like, what, next week?
Yeah. And not even talked about the likes of Fling Smash. Or WiiWare titles, for that matter.
Yeah.
But they did talk about Nintendo 3DS.
And boy, they talk about it.
On the top screen, it happens to be 3D display, where you can see pretty much in 3D with a slider, so you can change your depth. And you also have a touchscreen on the bottom, but the two are not one and the same. Probably due to the fact that there are smudges and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, on top of that, backwards compatible and has 3D camera.
It's got gyro with 3D cameras. It's probably the best thing, you know. Hey, take a picture. All of a sudden, it's 3D. People are going to make funny pictures with that.
That's a pretty good looking picture. Okay.
At the conference, Nintendo only announced 2 titles for it. One of them was Nintendogs and Cats.
Yeah, that game was developed by Mr. Miyamoto himself, and
it's supposed to be the sequel. It's a sequel to Nintendogs. How we expect?
Yeah, it uses the face and vocal recognition and all that stuff. That's pretty good looking. And
Kid Icarus Uprising.
This game was known as Project Sora and has been in development for 2 years with the help of Masahiro Sakurai, who created Kirby and Super Smash Bros.
And it looks good. It looks like they took the models from Super Smash Bros. Brawl and just put it in this 3DS.
The game looks like a sky shooter, and then when you're on the ground, you do.
I think it's going to be a break of gameplay where you're flying around shooting, and then after you do enough shooting, if you defeat enough enemies enough time, you land back on the ground, or if a certain time limit, just land.
It looks really good, and there are 2 problems I have with the 3DS at this particular point. 1, we don't have a price point.
Yeah.
And 2,
no release date.
We don't have a release date.
Which means it could be next year. And it could cost, like, $250 even.
Yeah, it could cost $250. It could cost them $200. We have no idea of their infrastructure. Is it the same thing as the DS, or is it going to go the full route? We don't know. We probably won't know until either the end of this week or probably far into the summer.
I don't know. Maybe they'll have a fall conference.
Either way, I totally expect the Nintendo 3DS to be out between this fall and next E3.
Well, it has to.
It has to.
They said it has to come out this fiscal year. And that was Nintendo.
It's almost impossible for us to find a game of note. That's my game here. But my favorite game on this list is probably, I'm going to say, Kirby Epic Yarn.
I was going to say Metroid Other M, but they announced that last year. That was last year's big game for me. Zelda would have been good, but I think since we've only seen one area, so I'm going to have to agree with you. Epic Yarn, all the way. Epic Yarn.
Though I am very interested with the Nintendo 3DS has to offer.
And I am with Zelda and Metroid.
So anyway, that's what we have to say about this. It was really a good conference. Kept on pulling all the stops and kept the casual stuff actually pretty decent.
And now we got to do Sony, so